Only God podcast, guys. This is episode, what, 4? 5? 5. Wow, 5, guys. And guess what? I'm wearing my Only God merch today. So if you want to get it, guys, there's a discount. Use code Alysia and check out theonlygodapparel.com. Get your merch. This is a cool statement. Obviously, y'all know I left OnlyFans, gave my life to the Lord, and there's no shame in it. Like, we've all have sin. Some people's on the internet, and some people's in the closet. Mine is on the internet. So I think it's like, Satan wants us to be ashamed. He wants us to like live like that's in the past. That's all underneath. That's all under the blood. So it's like this shirt is like we've all had stuff. I think every person has dealt with lust. I think that's the easiest thing to fall into, the easiest sin. So, whether it was corn you were watching, corn. I guess I'm afraid to say we can say porn. Whether it was porn you were watching, whatever, like this is a statement against the industry that with God, all things are possible. I just want to say this real quick. Nope, I'm not going to say it.
No, why?
Jake, talk to me.
What were you about to say? Good. I'm glad you're pausing.
It's amazing what God has done. And I looked at when I got baptized 1.5 years. So April, I think it's not even been, it's 1 year and some months. Can I just look up real quick the date that I deleted my OnlyFans real quick?
That you deleted it?
Mm-hmm.
Did they send you an email saying you deleted it and that's how you're checking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I had my first OnlyFans. It was
Dang, look at these screenshots of that money I made though, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look on my Instagram. I have so many clips. But I did post a video, so.
Of when you said you deleted it?
Yeah.
Shaka, bra.
I'm OnlyFans to Only God.
When did you find it?
The service in here is horrible. Wow. I want to say it was 1 year ago. It's got to be longer. Was it 2023 or 24? I feel like life has gone so fast. Is life just flying by? When you find the Lord and you're happy, it's like, why is it going so fast? When I was an addict, I remember the days would go so slow.
Really?
I'm like, oh. I mean, they were very blurred. But I feel like now that my life is like, I'm actually enjoying life. And I'm actually like understanding myself, understanding God, like having love in my life. It's like every day is like so fast. That's the one thing that used to trip me out. Because now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, God, I'm at my prime. Like, I'll look in the mirror sometimes and be like, oh my gosh, I want to be appreciated. Like, I want to love up on a man. I want to like, and he said, not yet, girl. You need to love up on yourself first. Because sometimes I look good and I'm like, the first thing I want to do is like, I want to post myself. Like, why? There's nobody I care about like that I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when I'm in love, when I'm with somebody, they're all that matters. Like,
I have a really deep question.
talk to me.
That we're gonna start out the podcast with.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be?
A kiwi because I'm juicy. What? If you were a fruit, what would you be? I feel like you'd be a carrot.
It's a vegetable, dude. Wow. She didn't pass second grade. They're like, we don't have to deal with her more. Let's just put her in third grade.
Tomatoes a fruit. Did you know that?
I did know that because I went past second grade where you learned this.
And this is why I'm single. The insults.
I would be a fusion of a pineapple, banana, and strawberry.
You didn't say you can mix stuff.
I didn't say you couldn't though. So I would be a strawapple. That's probably where they got Snapple from. strawberries and pineapples. All right, Snapple, I see you. Straw, or
Stranapples.
bus, but banana berry apple.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I moved to Nashville 2023 of October. Let's see how long it took. Sorry, I'm like, dang. Girl did not want to get off. You know, I will say it's totally different life. Like, not worrying about, we'd wake up every day, just do whatever we wanted, whether it was rollerblading in Miami. Like, everything was just like in the moment. But at the same time, I was always smoking. Like, I could never be at peace with myself. And when you're doing something that isn't the will of God, like, there's nothing you can do. Like, when you're called to help people, I didn't want to live with regret either. I didn't want to be like, man, my whole life I could have just stepped. I've always been the person that hates regrets. And I was like, I've got to try. Like, I've got to give God a chance. I've given everything else in the world a chance, but never gave God a chance. Sorry, guys. I'm just, like, still trying to find the actual, like.
The actual date
Mm-hmm.
of the transfer.
It's so funny, though. But yeah, I was posting, like, all I knew was, like, kind of sexy stuff. So it took me a while to stop posting that. And I probably still get some Christians mad on the way I dress. But,
A little risque.
like, I would post in my blanket, like, singing, like, what is this? This is why I'm a Christian. Like, what am I doing with jazz music? You guys can't see this, but, like, I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. She was just warning.
When was that you were doing that?
That's when I was fasting and praying.
Very spiritual stuff in your blanket. You're like John the Baptist.
I was like being like cute, like, but being like a little sexy there. Okay, guys, I don't know where it's at. It's kind of annoying me that I can't find it right now, but it was in 2024 then. Oh my gosh, it's only been a year, because think about it. That was December 2023 in the pictures. So it took me January, February, March, April. I think it was around March. That's crazy. When I got sober in March, so that's a year if it's 2025. So guys, in just a year, I got my first home. I only had enough money to last me like a couple months. If you have expenses and you live in Nashville, it's not cheaper here in Nashville from Miami. I'll just say that. And yeah, I took that leap of faith and I was like, okay, God. And it was crazy because I never checked my email. Last time I checked my email was my assistant that looked at my email. So it was like 2 years ago I hadn't touched my email. And my friend was like, maybe you check your email, you have something in there. And then they had this thing. Shout out to Passes. Passes helped me out. I had a contract with them. They're like a non-nudity platform, but a platform that you can still talk to your people. You can still put out content, whether that was you boxing, could be podcast even. Like,
what's it called?
It's called Passes, and it doesn't have to be sexy, whatever. So 2 weeks after I deleted my OF was like, if I have to live with my mom, I'll do that. That's where I was. I was at the breaking point where I was like, I will do anything to change. And that's when I think you're ready for change. When you're like, I don't care if I go back in time. I don't care if I have to be in the slums. Like, when being in that place hurts more than the change.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, God, like, you know my heart. I'm ready, And he provided. So I got this contract for 5 months. I was good. Like, my bills were paid for. I could save some money even. But all of a sudden, for the first time, I was budgeting.
Was the contract from Passes?
Yeah, the contract was with Passes. And for the first time, I was budgeting. And the first time I was like not shopping. I was not. And then I got a Fashion Nova contract as well, which wasn't like a whole lot of money, but it was still like another thing. So it's beautiful when you trust God, how he shows up. Because I think the beautiful thing is like you don't have to give up everything. You know, for me, money was never an idol. Yes, I had a G-Wagon and stuff like that, but I'm not like these girls that are obsessed with bags and like I have my nice bags and stuff, but it's not like, you know what I'm talking about? Maybe people don't know what I'm talking about because I sound like that person right now.
Here's my car and my purses.
But it's like that doesn't like, I don't feel better when I get my G-Wagon.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
some
yeah,
people
yeah.
where literally like that's what their identity is in.
Yeah.
You know, like they're materialistic things. And because I had everything, that never made me happy. So it never, like, even as a Christian, wasn't like, ooh. So I got rid of all that. I mean, I didn't get rid of that. God didn't take it away, which I think is beautiful because girls that are leaving the industry probably think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to leave everything. And it's like, nope, I still have my G-Wagon. I got my first home. Like, God gave me a brand new home. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. You've been in it. It's very peaceful.
It has 2 dogs.
Yes, and I have 2 puppies.
2 puppies. Very tiny, small little creatures.
Yeah. God really showed up in my life in so many ways. He gave me amazing friends. Like, I always I prayed for that. Like, can I have Christian friends? And he gave me that. Like, community is everything. Even though I isolated myself from them for a long time, too. That's where it's just beautiful. And then I met you. More healing. It's just like life is like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this.
Yep. Yep. Well, somebody once, I took improv classes in LA for a few months. It's maybe like 3 months. And then I took them again here in Nashville for maybe like 8-9 months. But one of the guys in LA, that I met semi through improv, he talked about a lot of people explain life what you just did, where it's the ups and downs, the roller coaster. He used kind of like a funnel of water, a spiraling funnel of water that's constantly going upward. So you're just like retracing that same like part that you're looking at, but you're constantly going up. Whereas like this is like on down. And I think you can use either of them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no downs like this.
Because even the downs make you stronger, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what's been cool about my journey is like using all this to show people that, you know, all things are possible, that you can change your life. And that's the thing we should be changing in life. If you are like the same, but you know how many people don't, that are the same, like in their 40s, like so unhealed. So like me, I want to get better, you know? I'm like, what's life if we don't try to be the best, you know, version or try to do something new? But there's people who are cool just.
I actually envy those people. I'm not going to lie. To a degree.
I guess, yeah, because. What do you mean?
Because I, in the same way that you, like, you've expressed multiple times on here and other places that you're like, I need to be doing something. I need to be productive.
Yeah.
You've been like saying that your schedule is like really important. But I see there's these people that are like really successful. Maybe it is whatever anybody would determine as success. But they're just like, cool, this is me. And
you know, that's a good point, but like a lot of people that are successful, and I will say this, a lot of them are narcissists or people that have to do something around them so they don't have to look in themselves, like build an empire. If this guy, like, oh my gosh, he's like 50, right? And he's obsessed with talking about his house, his cars, his whole identity is like he's successful, but it's annoying. I'm like, dude, all you are is like the superficial thing. Like there's no depth to you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And the same with this other guy was like, this other guy who's not like, anyways, there's just no depth. Everything is just facade. You can tell the people are authentically them or the ones that are trying so hard, and it's like, I guess people who aren't healed just see them as them. But I guess people like us, we're like, oh my gosh, that's painful.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though I'm still on that journey. Like, there's times where you look at me, you're like, oh, that's painful watching her podcast right now. What is she doing?
Wait, are you saying from like other people's perspective they would be watching?
Like I feel like those people don't know, because they don't know any different. And I think that's the hardest thing about being a Christian is, like, you want to help everybody and be like, you can be free. But they just want to, like,
see
stay where they're at.
See, this is kind of to circle back to something we talked about in the past, like with the brokenness. That's where it's not even saying that, but the terminology that we use around where someone's at before Jesus and then where they're at after Jesus is, we then are like, oh, here's where I'm at after Jesus. Now everybody needs to be where I'm at. And that's like,
it's too much.
I personally don't even.
Because everybody has their own journey.
Yeah,
what you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody goes down their own path.
Yeah, that's true. And where you can just, and that's what he told me, where you can just be like, where people want what you have without you trying to reach and tell them, here it is. But where you can just sit back and be like, whatever they have, I want it.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Yep, they're thinking.
I'm still on this, y'all. That's what's beautiful about this. I'm not sitting here saying, I'm all healed and I'm like literally still finding my way. Like, I'm in the beginning stages. Like, beginning stages of loving myself.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're
all on the
journey. And we never finish till we're finished.
Till we're
yeah.
So these bodies, I like how Blair said it. When you go through healing and therapy, or like when you start really connecting with God and loving yourself, it's like kind of like you get rid of the ego, the pride, the trying to make it, the things of this earth. Like, as if when you go to heaven, all our physical body's gonna be gone. The more you heal, the less of your physical body you are listening to, the more you're in spirit. I'm like, that's what I want to be all the time, where I'm in spirit, which is, I don't think we can be there 24/7 because we're still bodies. But I would just love to be like, all the time. I'm getting there. Am I getting there? I will say, the other day, my beet juice spilled all over the house, and I didn't even curse. I was like, oh.
Nice. Let's go.
I was just like, whoa. And then something else happened, and I was just like, oh. Like, I'm like, old me, I was the most reactive person. Like, my Miami people, I know some of y'all watching me, telling you, it was so reactive. And it was funny because they all had a content house, all the girls, all the OnlyFans girls. And one of my friends, I still talk to one of them. The other ones, I have no problem with. I just don't really talk to them. And they're like, dude, did Alysia actually change? And she's like, yeah, girl, like, she's not the same person. And it's funny because you forget how you were before. I was like, oh my gosh, I was a reactive. I was super reactive. Oh my gosh, I've tried to fight my friends. Yeah. Oh, I was spicy. I would fight with the ballet, which they loved, because then I would feel bad after, and I'd tip them. I'd tip them bigger. I'd be like, sorry, I was yelling at you about not getting the car fast enough.
Wait, you yelled at people for not getting
I was like, if you looked at me like this, something, you'd be like, this girl has demon. Like, that's why I believe everything's spiritual, because I was straight up like, I was the sweetest person, but when I would get triggered and something would go wrong, I would be like, it'd be like I see black. Like, wow. I was like, that's why I believe it. Everything is spiritual. But now she's like, yeah, like, Alicia's totally different. And it's cool because I can go back to Miami and hang out with all these girls, and I see their heart, and I see them totally different, in a good way, That's why I want to do podcasts with them too. I'm like, I want you to put that front down, and like, I want to see your big heart, because that all ego of, I got the money, I get the bag, like, I know deep down you would just want love. Mm-hmm. You just want love, and you just don't know how to get it. You've been so hurt that you're like, I'm just going to make a ton of money and do what I want and travel the world and F everybody and what my parents say. And, like, rebellious. We're, like, naturally, like, rebellious. And then you can only do that so long where eventually you're like, okay.
Checking out. I'm like fully done.
Yeah, most of the girls are all on something.
Like the majority of the time.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
There's very rare that they're sober. And the ones that are very connected to themselves, like there's this one girl I'm thinking of specifically. I need to reach out to her. And she's hurting. And we were talking to one of the OnlyFans guys. And he's like, we were talking about it. I'm like, it's a lonely life. It's a lonely life because the guys who do want to date you for the wrong reasons. Most of the time, not everybody, but like most of the guys are there to be like, she's hot and everybody wants her. And that's my thing. Like an icon.
So then,
like a sex icon.
So then everybody that is not everybody, because that's just too broad of a stroke. But let's say the majority of people, they're doing it because they're so ashamed.
Pride comes a lot with shame. You know, pride comes hand in hand with shame, and I feel like that's what I held. I was very prideful, and I didn't know until I was Christian that's actually associated with shame. I had a lot of shame.
Yeah, I realized this many, many, many moons ago, and I was.
I just realized.
What's that?
So I'm just realizing everything now.
Not that thing. Something else that just what you just said made me think of the other realization I had. We as human beings can feel so insecure that we find a way to be so confident. To cover up how insecure we feel.
Yes.
And it's crazy.
We call something in LA or in AA, it's a word for it. It's not girl confident, there's a term for it, but
Okay.
It's basically like a fake confidence.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got it all together, but really you're like, and yeah, it's funny because when the more you heal, the more you can see that in people. The more you're like, oh my gosh, that was me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was me to a T. I could do anything in front of anybody. I was like, but if you told me to talk about God, I'd get all shy and like.
Well, I would guess that it wouldn't be just talking about God. It'd be talk about you.
Yes. Yeah.
Our boy Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
he leads a networking group, and this past week, and I go to it occasionally. So how it's structured is it's just like a whole bunch of people that are in some sort of business capacity, and you just go there, and the aim is to connect with people, see if you can find some connections to meet some needs. So he leads that, and what you do is everybody goes around, stands up for like 30 seconds and talks about what they do. And it comes to me and I stand up, and I had such an urge just to stand there. And I wanted to stand there a lot longer than I did. I stood there, it was maybe like 10 seconds and just nothing. Just
awkward.
It's not.
That's what I was going to say. What would you do?
Yeah, it's just you're looking at the people. Like when you can pause and not feel like you need to take up space, and you're okay where you're at, that's the goal.
Wow.
So I had this thought long time ago, and then Blair also shared this as well. I was like, look, dude, him and I, God, we would, if he wasn't my therapist, we'd probably be really good friends. But he's like, if I ever give like a TED talk or something like that, he said he's gonna stand there for 5 minutes, not say anything. And I had that same thought, just a minute. Mine was just a minute, and just to see, you don't have to say anything to carry an impact, because everybody is gonna. You look at this person, and they're totally fine up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But then internally, you as a viewer have like one of two ways to go. You can either step into their piece, or, God, this is so uncomfortable. Why are you just say something?
Yeah.
You need to say something. Like where's the crew? Is there gonna get somebody get this guy to talk,
Uh-huh.
and people respond to one of two ways, and I think it just shows the comfort of a person with themselves when they can just be there and not needing to perform and not needing to show up as somebody who's like, hey, look, I got all the answers. You don't have the answers, you live the answers. And
powerful.
yeah, no.
And like the presence of God, the Holy Spirit, he does the moving, right? So it's like nothing we can like.
Yeah, you just like, cool, okay, I'm just gonna show up, and then what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
That's such a beautiful, amazing way to live. You know, hard. That's where I want to get. But it's I wouldn't say I'm giving it too much power. It's not hard, but it's like anything, it takes practice.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what my mom said about the podcast. You know, it's so funny. I said, what do you think about it? She's like, oh, I love it. She's like, you guys really talk deep and it really makes you think. And she's like, and then you guys think and then you pause. And I was like, thinking, oh, is that bad? That we like pause. She wasn't saying in a negative way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think we're not used to people pausing and thinking.
Yeah.
And that's my opposite. For me, I'm like, I need to go. I need to say something big. I need to say something, you know.
Yeah. And that's going to be
and I can still do big things, but with a little pause. Then the mic drop and then a pause.
There's a TED Talk about storytelling. And he has all these different components that go into storytelling. And he breaks down maybe like 10 to 12 of them in one of the TED Talks. And then he has another TED Talk that describes kind of what's going on in your brain with like chemicals being released and stuff. And he shared this technique, and I heard it other places as well, that if you pause and then say something, the weight that it carries is totally different. I could have said like, I'm telling this story. I'm like running through the hallway and my brother's chasing me.
And then you pause.
And then I'm like, and then I stop and get ice cream. And everyone's like, oh, what? It does
that
something.
pause.
Yeah. You feel it. And that's part
Our
of
world is so fast. Everything information fast.
Yeah.
Everything's quick. There's no pauses. AI just tells you everything. We don't even have to. That's crazy. I was just thinking that even with AI, this girl said she was getting her husband glasses that for fishing. The AI glasses, and I guess it'll tell you the size of the fish. Who knows if it even tells you maybe there's a fish in the water and you go just throw it out. So AI stuff is wild.
Wait, what do you mean? Like goggles?
Yeah, like glasses.
Okay.
That will like tell you the size of the fish and like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like the Ray-Bans?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. Our world is, dude. I remember free nights and weekends, and now we got freaking goggles. Like.
Yeah, people just.
I need Ray-Bans to tell me when to pause. Imagine they tell you what to say. Like we're all just gonna be just these perfect bots that save. Even I remember I was doing my captions. Oh my gosh. I would put a run-on sentence, dude. I didn't even know where periods went. I was like so horrible with English. Both my parents are foreigners, and I just like, I don't know. I think I just like I got my degree, and it's by God because I was like some of this stuff I could not get. But geez, my captions. I'm like, that's what I wanted to say exactly. Yes, baby. AI captions. Oh my God. Shout out to AI. Shout out to AI. I'm like,
good.
People be looking so smart. Before, people would call each other out. You don't know how to use you are. You don't know how to use this word. Dude, I used to get called out all the time. I'm like, damn. Can a girl just get what she wants to say out? I'm like, you understand it. It's English, right? You understand it.
And then this is what happens when you start to slow
Miserable
down.
critiquers, keyboard warrior a-holes. Sorry.
You start to slow down and you realize, hey, communicating is really important and it's really valuable. And you want to say things in a way that it's not even that it's right. It's so that it can be understood by the most people.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I just I want people to know what it is I'm saying, because I shouldn't say we always know. The majority of the time, we know what we're thinking and what's going on. Other people don't. And so whenever you're crafting whatever it is you're saying to other people,
Mm-hmm.
I always think about it in the way of they have no idea what I'm talking about. So then it's really important to explain it, not in like that third.
I think it comes from your heart, because now you're going into the whole thinking about things and saying it instead of it just flowing from your heart. Because if it's from your heart, people just, it gets it.
Yeah.
Like when it's from God, it's like hits you. Like Blair will say something to me and I'm just like, and then I'll try to repeat it to somebody else. And then it's like, I was like, well,
Yeah.
listen, he didn't say it like that. But it's like, because it was meant for you. It was not meant to share with somebody else, number one. And number two, if it's just like Holy Spirit, it's almost like it flows and you're like, that's not even me speaking right now.
Yeah.
It's just like, duh. But it feels natural. It doesn't feel forced.
Yeah.
But when you're trying, I was just explaining what he was trying to explain. I don't know how this got twisted.
You just need to talk.
Huh?
You just need to talk.
You think I messed it up?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, shoot.
No, I only said that because you were like, she said off camera that you were like, I'm gonna talk less this time. And then
I took off to the face.
And then what I said, you just repackaged it and said it in a different one.
No, because you started saying that we need to be articulating the words.
Yes, 100%. No, I was kidding. This is a joke.
Right? Okay, I was like, wait, did I take it the wrong way?
Yeah,
because first you said that, and then it sounded like you went off of it.
Yeah, it was all the concept of how to articulate. But then you also learn what you just shared, that not all of the time, even saying something really articulately and poetically beautiful does anything.
Right.
Because you have to see where that other person's at.
And you have to be ready to receive it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the greatest with words, but I speak from the heart, and I think that's what's always made me different, because there's people, they can talk a good talk. But then you just see their actions, and I would rather be speaking from the heart and not eloquently, because that's all how I look, But God uses people. He uses broken people. He uses people who talk eloquently, people who talk like me from the military.
What would you consider elegant? Because I don't think you don't speak well.
I think I'm getting better. I think I used to really try to push what I was saying on to people. And I felt like because my body was used so much as a tool of influence, Satan, and that's where my power comes from, is from what I'm saying from the heart. So what is he always, I feel like sometimes I even have to pray. Like I'll be on a live and all of a sudden I'll be like, I feel projection. And I'm like, in the name of Jesus, like I break off any of these lies of the enemy or anything coming. Like I feel like specifically, I feel like jumbled, or I can't get something out and I don't know what it is sometimes. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying so hard to make up for something because I'm still learning myself. I'm way more chill now.
Are you?
I don't know.
I'm kidding. No.
Pause.
Yeah.
Jake's trying to tell me to shut up on this podcast by talking about the pause thing, and it still hasn't worked. He's like, let's see if she gets it. That she could say nothing in her presence is enough. And I'm over here like,
That's good. That's fun. That's good. So, okay. On the whole, like speaking from your heart,
my eyes are really thinking. You do that?
Yeah. I do that too. Look how you paused in that silence first off. Well done. What in where you're at right now in your life seasonally does your heart really need to hear?
I'm gonna flip that and ask you that question right now.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh,
'Cause
yes.
I will answer it after you answer.
Okay. Say it again.
I
What
said,
does my heart really need right now?
I said, where do you like to go hang out?
Stop it.
Yeah, what is it in the season that you're in right now? What
does
is your
my heart need?
Yeah, really need to hear?
That you're worthy of love. That you don't have to be afraid. That you can come out. That you can cry. That you can feel pain. It's crazy how much of our lives we can live just ignoring the biggest part of living in life. That's love. It's love, and that's the heart, and that's what we ignore the most. It's hard to feel love when you felt so unloved for so long. And then the only way to cope is to shut your heart down. And like, man, it took me to, y'all, I know I look 21. Oh my gosh. But it took me to 35 to open my heart. And that's why God says, guard your heart above all else, and everything flows from the heart, and the heart is also deceitful. And I'm like, wow, it took what it took, but it's like, whoa. For so long, I deprived it. It was so fearful, so much fear. So the pain sucks. It's like God didn't intend us to be in pain. He intended us like, follow me. I'm going to protect your heart. Yes, things happen in life where your heart's going to get, broken. But most of the time, I'm going to give you red flags. I'm going to give you intuition to not be with that mother trucker.
You did say the other thing.
And I do really good. It was even for cursing. I cursed for a long time. My whole life I was cursed like a sailor. A failure. I cursed like a failure. And then it was just so random. It was right before my fight a year ago that I was like, I heard my friend cursing, and she was like, I was like, ugh, that's what I sound. It sounded like, not like I was judging her, but it sounded like so ick to me. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what I sound like?
Yeah.
And that's when I changed. So I'll still once in a while, but very like, it's one of those things. It just happens. Like God is going to free you of things when it's time.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not like, oh my God, she cursed. Oh my gosh, I went to Miami and visited. Everyone thought, oh, she's back to her old life. Like, dang, a girl can't even go. Like, I have Jesus in me. Y'all think I can't go back and I'm going to be taken with the wind? How much power do people give Satan? They want to see me fall, but they ain't going to. Only God, baby. They ain't going to see me fall. You're going to see me cry now. You're going to see me cry. You're going to see me feel my feelings. You're going to see me be vulnerable and open now. That's what I love about this. It's like the safest place I felt besides in therapy, like being on social media and posting stuff. This has been the most authentic I've been able to be. Thanks to Jake. So Jake, you tell me what your heart needs in this season of your life. Pause.
That's a good question. Where'd you pause? Have you seen Borat?
Deflecting. You're deflecting.
No, I know. No. I will come back to it. But have you?
It felt like a long time ago.
He's like trying to take classes from somebody who tells jokes, and the guy's teaching him how comedic timing works, and then he's like tells him this suit is black, and then the guy's trying to tell him, you pause after saying it, and then you say not.
Okay.
And then Borat's like, the suit is black, pause, not. Yeah, actually says the pause, because he's like, Um, he's
That's us.
yeah,
Pause.
because there's the mistranslation because he's from some
Yeah,
Kyrgyzstan
no.
or something like that. That's what I kept hearing. No, that was okay. I and I haven't actually had this one before. Um, everything's going to be okay. Um, 'Cause I've had a lot of what I thought were gonna be moments in my life where things were going to like change and shift for like career related stuff, and they never do. Yeah. Okay, to go deeper then.
Yeah, 'cause that's still the outside of like.
Yeah. I just I have this tattoo right
'Cause
here.
nothing's gonna make you feel good whether your career goes
Yeah.
this or that.
Um,
What's it say?
It's Sanskrit. And it's translated to what I looked it up, wanted regardless.
Mm.
Um and a
You
friend
can cry too. I cried already. We can cry today. Is our crying
yeah, we'll see. They'll come if they come.
session.
But I've always struggled with not feeling wanted. That's always been my thing. And I just like still revert back to there. Um and it makes it hard going through like I feel that okay. So I'll say this and then dig deeper, but I feel like what I bring to the world is valuable, but then it doesn't seem to be received by anybody that I wanted to be received by. When I say this, it's like in career circumstances, but even when I was younger, it's like I remember in high school, um, you just have to be like funny or good, or you can't come and say, "Hey, I'm feeling this." You don't even know what you're feeling. Um, and I don't know if like growing up, I felt wanted. Like I know at home, like I know my parents loved me, but I don't know if I felt wanted. I know I made this comment one time and it felt like somebody couldn't relate to it. I said, "Of course," and they didn't come from like a bad home. It just didn't come across their interpretation of life wasn't the same as mine, and I didn't realize there's other interpretations around this concept. But your parents love you because they have to, not because they want to.
Mm.
And whenever like I told that to the other person, is like they they didn't they were baffled by the concept of being loved because you have to. Um, and I'm like, I would have loved to feel wanted. Like, I don't think, yeah. Like women are my Achilles heel.
Mm.
God, God, women are just stunning creatures. They're just amazing. Um,
We
but
are.
but
I'm
God,
gonna marry myself. I
You unfortunately don't get the pleasure. You are the awesomeness as like a woman, but I've shared. I don't think I've shared this on here, but I think I've shared it with you. Um, like if I were to walk into a room and there's a whole bunch of pretty women in that space, I I kind of assume they're not going to have depth. And so I write most of them off to where it's like, oh, you haven't probably developed to the degree that I would want you to be, so that I could just like be a real human being.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I feel like you thought about that about me.
mm, um, and so, but so I walk into that room and I'm just like,
Is this normal for you? Like you to this day? Like this your time?
no, this is but yes, but like subconsciously, but like I don't know. That's a good question.
Sorry.
That's a good question. No, it's questions are good.
Yeah.
Questions are good. Um, it's not as strong as intense as it used to be. I'll say that, but it's like I know that the majority of women in that space, I'm like, I know I wouldn't want you. I know I wouldn't. Like I probably walk into Carbon and there's all these women that are just like dime pieces, and it's just like, but there's might not be the depth, so I'm like, whatever. But I want all of them to want me because I don't feel wanted.
With yourself.
Yes. And if I could just get them to want me, like,
Want you to
I don't
want me. I need you to need me.
Yep, exactly. That's very much a real thing, and I think most guys are like that.
I think that's a normal human thing, but I know what you mean because I feel like, and I know we say everybody has their own timing and everything like this, but it is true. The path is narrow, you know? Not a lot of people are doing they're happy with, I don't know, I've just never been happy with just mediocrity. I think there's so many people who are like, I'm scared of public speaking. Like I know God's gonna call me to something to do something, like in front of a lot of people, and I'm not. I'm like, oh God, I don't like public speaking. I don't. I can fight. I can that type of stuff. Like, you know, it's interesting because Blair told me that he said, when I went to public speaking, when I got rid of religion, I couldn't speak anymore because everything I was speaking was from religion.
Wow.
And I'm like, who am I when I'm not, don't have the ego?
Wow.
I'm funny. When I have that ego and that pride, I'm like, yeah, I see myself on live and I see I battle with it sometimes. Or I'll, you know what I mean? It's like this constant, like,
Yeah.
but like you said, getting in that place where like, I am so lovable. No matter if Henry or John doesn't care, I want to be that place where I feel loved no matter where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't need everyone to look at me.
Yeah.
I just know I'm a freaking amazing ball of love and like fire. But it was funny because even I told you about that little thing that happened where I felt like attacked my character and who I was. And it was like, that still goes to show I still have more to work on because at the end of the day, yes, it's good to take things from people, but to not let it affect us in a negative way to where we start changing how we feel about ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe I didn't say it the right way. You know what? But I know that where that came from.
Yeah.
You know, and not let it send you in a spiral of like,
Okay.
and that's, I think, knowing our identity in Christ. Because if we know, and I said this to Blair, he said more men are wussified in the Christian. Like, there is nothing more attractive than a man who knows his authority and power. Like Pastor Paul, Alex's husband, like all these men of God, they're to me, they're like icon. You know what I mean? Like to me, they're obviously I don't crush on them. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a word to say. Like it's very attractive, okay, but not in a weird way. But it's very attractive for a man to know his authority. And like he said, it's weird because now a lot of times the men are softer,
Yeah.
and then the women have become these shells who aren't deep because they've hidden their heart around whatever scriptures or you know, behind Jesus instead of opening their hearts really deep.
Yeah.
And then the men, well, I don't know what happens to men because I don't talk to them, but But like to be in touch with yourself, that's so attractive. To be humble, to know who you are in the room and not have to try to be that. You can tell the men, the insecure ones. I was just with one recently and it was like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was like this, attention. And it's funny because that's probably how I used to be a lot of times where I would like, I mean, some of it is naturally me, you know, where I'm an attention grabber. I like being the attention. I like the attention or whatever, you know, some of it's like God's gifts, but it can be mixed with like ego and insecurity.
Yeah.
Then you got like a mess of like, what is going on with this person?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the way people manage how they feel about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm healed. He said the funniest thing. He's not going to listen to this. I don't think he's going to know. I wrote a book. I was like, what does that have to do with healing?
Yeah.
Really, if you write a book, self-help book, you're healed. And I'm looking at him like, you are the most unhealed man I've met in a long time. You need to write more on that book.
This is where, like, this is
This
why.
is where I know I judgment, right? I'm being judgmental.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But it was like the ego. It was like everything was ego and pride and like.
Well, see.
To me, it's like. Oh, it was bad.
Seeing that in somebody else is fine. Judgment isn't.
It's not like I was, you're not better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're just like noticing something.
I'm so blunt. This stuff I was saying, my friend was like, Alysia.
A lot of and this is something that Blair is really good at communicating, where he'll say, and we talked about, I think in the last episode, where if you don't actually heal, you can do all of this stuff that will make you look like you're healed and not actually be healed. And then that's where you see the false peace within somebody. The sense of, I shouldn't say you can see it, you can sense it.
No, because you can sense it's not, they don't even have it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like, I can't stay still and I always have to constantly be moving and like, and I used to be that way. Oh my gosh, you couldn't get me in the room. Okay, I'm bored. I'm not. If you're not giving, and of course I'm on Adderall. I'm sorry, you can't. Adderall will put you in your. Adderall might help you in your work, but it leaks into your personal life because then you're wanting this fast gratification, everything. While there comes to women, like these guys still take Adderall and stuff. It's crazy. But then they wonder why they're not satisfied. It's because you're taking something that's stimulating quick, and then you put that in your personal life. That's why they go from girl to girl to girl because you're taking a medication. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, this person was like 40 something, healed, wrote a book, but they couldn't even stay still. Just thinking about it makes me not stay still. But you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's something that can be learned in healing to where you can. I've been able to stay still now.
Yeah, you just did it.
Yeah.
A few minutes ago.
But I can think about him and I can feel his energy and then I'm a feeler. I am such a feeler. Like I felt you today.
Oh, when I was walking around outside.
I was like, oh my.
I wanted to sit down, but I wanted to stay close to the other two guys. So where we record our podcast, for the people that are like watching, there's a fire in the building. Not like a legit fire. I think it was some microwave got sent off, something like that. So the fire company came. What's it called? Firehouse. It's a fire engine, but then a fire truck.
Anyway, fire truck.
Yeah, so they came by. Get to it. And so I was in this. So I didn't want to just stand there. So I was like walking around this big old flower pot. Alysia was like, chill. And I was actually chill.
Maybe.
Yeah, I like
You just look
physically.
like a crackhead.
Physically.
And it's okay to get in those moments. We get in moments where we're like, well, I'm a little restless. Like, where is this coming from? You know? And that's the beautiful key to catch yourself in that.
Well, no, see, I want to.
Because that's straight up anxiety. That's stuff you can heal from. When you can't stay still, I think that's very like, I used to be like that. I used to tell myself that we word curse ourselves. I can't stay still. You're never going to not practice it if you tell yourself, I'm not loved, I'm not this, I'm not, like, you know what I've learned in my journey is like I say things over to myself now, like, you're so loved, you're so precious. Like now I used to speak about myself so negatively. You can't stay still. You have ADHD. You patience is not a virtue. That was my favorite thing to say. Patience is a virtue I never had. Like what? Like that's the fruits of the spirit, homie. And that's why, like, y'all, we should be in these. If you're not in them, we can be in them. We can open your heart.
Nice.
Let him heal you so you can rest in peace. Right?
Yeah. 100%. That's what he designed us to do. Designed us where to be. It's just like, hey, I love you. But this is something in the last like 3 or 4 months that I've actually understood that for so long I didn't. I would be so. How to describe this? I don't want to feel a negative emotion. And so I would get really good at, okay, my identity is that I'm loved. My identity is that I'm good. My identity is I'm cared for. My identity is rooted in who Jesus is, and therefore I know peace. And I would want to be in all of those traits all of the time. And what I learned was so often for me, trying to be in those places was just trying to avoid the negative experiences. So what I've recently been able to really do is be in a negative experience and be like, hey buddy, everything's okay. Instead of going, everything's okay, I'd be like, I feel whatever. I feel anxious right now.
Right.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's funny you say that because when this incident happened where I felt that hurt. At first I was like, you know what? Love, peace and love. And then it kept coming up and it kept coming up and it kept coming up. And then I literally cried. I stopped rollerblading and I pulled up to the park and I'm like, this hurts.
Come on.
The things that she said made me feel rejected. And it reminded me a lot of how I felt in my life and how many people I just cut out of my life because they just hurt me. And I did things and maybe it wasn't the right way, but in my heart I wasn't doing it in a bad way. So I would just cut that person off because I had friends that was like, I was like a best friend with one girl. She said one thing wrong to me and it hurt me so bad. I'd never talk to her again. Her name was Alysia Hike Jones. We were best friends. She said one thing to me. I don't think it was very bad, but I had so many, as a child, so many offenses. That girl was never and I did that in so many of my relationships in life where instead of feeling it and like, okay, how can we fix this? Where it was just like, okay, this sucks and I'm going to block this person and never deal with this emotion again. And that's my MO. Like, it's been so hard for me not to be like, I'm going to unfollow. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to, and it's like, I know that's coming from a place of pain. Yeah. And that takes maturity to be like, no, I'm not going to respond the way I used to respond. You know? So
come on.
God's moving fast. I'm telling you, God, once you say yes to him, he does move fast. Think about it. Only 1 year out of OnlyFans. Got my first home. I have a community. I'm sitting on here on my little Only God podcast. You know, God's like God, and he is a safe. Now I have safe guys I'm around. Like, I literally have. I hated middle finger to all the men all the time. Like, I would post something on Instagram. I can make fun of myself at this point. I literally would post like wearing a hot outfit with my middle finger up in the camera. Why? Like, why was I so hateful? And it was like, it was that love and hate. Because, love and hate can be very the same, And it was like, and now I can sit here and talk about love to a guy. Before I'd be like, F love. F, like.
Really?
Oh, I was a big hater. We should do like a look at Alicia's old like stories. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I was so hurt. Oh, I would, it was to the point of like, because my ex was Muslim, I would even say things that were so mean that made me look like bad. And then he would like cheat on me with like a Latina girl in Miami. Then I would talk bad about Latina. Like I was so hateful. Like people even like, can I say, I don't know, I was just gonna say it. People like literally one of the things that, remember I told you about how the girl was like, Alicia's changed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she's not, she's like, she said something about she's not racist or something. No, this isn't like I wasn't, but to like I was talked bad about, like I said, like the Muslims I would talk bad, and then because I was hurt, and then the Latinas I would talk some crap. I was never like, I love all people. Okay, let's get this right. This is not being like, oh, she's, I love all people. Like I have friends that are Latinas. I have friends that are all different color. Like Muslims. Like I have friends that I battle with. I have love for that are Muslims as well. Like this is nothing. But when you're unhealed, oh my gosh. I'm surprised I didn't get canceled for some of this stuff. All Muslim men cheat. I mean, some of it's a little factual, but still a little truth. A little truth. But I just came from such an unhealed place. Like everything I said was like, that's why I didn't realize how much I changed until she told me that. And I was like, oh my God, I used to be that way. Where I came off hateful to cultures and to people. Wow. Because I was so hurt.
Wow.
Is that crazy? And I feel like I'm the complete opposite. Like, and that's why when I worked with Blair for the first time, I'm like, I'm this loving a-hole, because it was like this pain that would make me like I was hateful, but really it was just this love. And the only way to cover up that love is to be hateful, Yeah. Because if you hate, you can't love. And I didn't want my heart to come out, so I just exchanged that for hate. Yeah. And I'm going to harden it. Yeah. And I'm going to stay isolated. And even as a Christian, I'm isolated. I had my one girlfriend. Now is the first time I feel like I've gotten, this summer was the first summer I feel like I've, hello world.
I'm ready to peek my head out of the shell. Wow.
And then I got my feelings hurt, and I was like, damn, couldn't you let me feel this self-love for a little bit? But that's beautiful. Like you said, I could easily catch it and accept that it hurt.
Yeah.
Accept that it doesn't define me and push forward.
Yeah. Yep. You've mastered life right there.
Because Satan wants you to feel guilt. He wants you to feel shame. He wants you to feel all those different things. And it's like, yes, we all have things to learn from in that. Like I said, I don't think I speak the most softly. Listen, you look for a soft friend, you don't take the wrong one. I'm that fun, crazy one.
Yeah.
But I'm not like the one that's gonna be like, I'm learning to give more hugs. Oh my gosh. My neck is spasming. I'm good though, guys. So do you feel, I know you said you want relationship, or obviously you want love, and you feel like, do you feel like set up in your life to have that, like be married?
Financially, no. But other than that, yeah.
That can always come.
Yeah, it's close, I think.
Look at you now. You said even career-wise, and it's funny how God uses things like, I feel like you're just now, like, even though you work with people all the time, you have the passion for people, the love for people. You have such a gift. But you never utilized it. I feel like now you're doing the life coaching. Now you're, you know what I mean? You're utilizing those things.
Yeah, which that's attached to a deeper reason, which the reason has been addressed, which is why I finally feel I'm ready, or like the financial situation is going to change. I hope if we like continue to grow this thing and it gets big, that we never have an editor that cuts out stuff like that. I want this to be no level of production.
Yeah.
Other than what the place looks like. I'm
telling you how God, there is no one better to do a podcast with. Like God knew what he was doing when he set me and you up for this. It was so random. Like we were working at church together serving. I never thought, okay, I'm going to be sitting a podcast. But
I know.
he's like the one person that's so safe that makes me feel like, Alysia, like, be yourself. Like, God just, I'm telling you, he sets things up so divinely. If we just stop looking at the negative and actually see, like, the good that God does in our lives, it's like, that can only be God. You know what I mean?
To that question of the lady, yeah, I feel very ready for that. I did have my last relationship was a very, very long time ago. I did have a streak in me, and I think I'll have to like actually test it out, but I believe like it's something I can work through even if it's still there when I get into the relationship. Codependency, where I like needed something. I really am afraid of them leaving me if they see that I'm imperfect. So I worked really hard to be perfect, and it just is so exhausting being in a relationship and trying to be perfect. And it's really bad. So I'll probably get times where that comes up, but I know going into a relationship that I am ready to sit with them, allow myself to sit where I'm at. I just have to find someone that will allow me to sit.
Yeah.
Because it's usually like, hey, what's wrong? Let's fix it.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what's wrong the majority of the time, but I need to sit in it. And that's something guys don't really understand, is that women just need to sit in whatever they're going through. And it's not just women, guys need to. Guys just haven't been given permission to sit, and they don't know how to sit.
Yeah.
I can give that space, and I think a lot of women really cherish that. So I know I bring that to the table for the relationship. I know I know that I'm a catch. I just haven't found the person yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm ready.
I know it's something that I told Blair. It's weird because he's like, your next relationship, and when you're, on your healing and healed, shouldn't be like, I want to be around that person 24/7. Like, that's not normal. I always knew that. Like, deep down, I was like, this can't be normal to feel like I need this person, like, to breathe, But that's the only relationship I've known is like this. I have to have this person. Or like you said, I'm the opposite. You said, I want to fix things right away. Oh my gosh, my ex, of course, he was out there cheating on me with this damn wife. That's horrible.
That's a funny line.
So real and raw here. But he would be like, okay, I need some time. And I was like, no, like, let's fix it. Like, I hate that feeling of like the unknown. But if you truly, this is me unhealed. This is not Alysia now. But it's like, I don't know what that's going to look like for me, like having a relationship where it's like, you do your thing, I do my thing. We're going to meet together. We're going to make, like, it's just so unknown and unfamiliar. Yeah. But it's like exciting because I know I'm going to have that too. Yeah. But like, that's why I like having, now I have guy friends where it's like, they'll like, you actually care, like in a nice way. How was your weekend? And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, just building that, bond like we have, you know what I mean? That good, healthy bond with a man. And I'm like, that's so important to have those people in your life, because I've never had that. And when Blair asked me, like, do you have one person kind of man that you like was your safe place or a mentor? And I'm like, never had that, because they all wanted me. Just kidding. But it literally was just not a thing. Like, it was like a man. I was in a relationship, and that was my person, and I couldn't be with any other man. Obviously, I'm in a relationship, and then
I wonder what.
It's weird. Like, I had a lot of uncles. They were great, but never like mentor. Like, it was never like, they were just my uncle. What's up? It was never like, even in my adulthood, it was like, I don't know, I just in the military, just did my thing, worked. There was never mentors. Yeah, it's so funny. I was saying worked, he sent a lot of bad people that I would keep isolating. Like my doctor in the military, she was super mean.
Really?
Oh, she called me an idiot, threw out the instruments on like my first day of work. Made me I cried in the bathroom. Oh, we had such a trauma bond. I had such a trauma bond with her.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was like a love and hate. Oh, you talk about like she knew how to make me feel horrible but then love me at the same time. So it was like I felt like my whole life has always been this cycle of like not that true love.
Yeah.
'Cause they didn't have Jesus. You need Jesus.
Yep. Yep. That's tough to have a cycle. That sounds like my body.
And I was with her. I worked with her for 6 years.
Yeah. That's so.
And then when I got sick in the military and I became like really didn't talk to her she didn't want nothing to do with me. I'm like she was literally like my mom. Like I was with her for 10 hours a day working. And then like in the military, baby, 21 years old. 20 years old. Actually, I was 19 years old. So like looked up to her. She was a doctor, It was just interesting how much I've had to push my heart down, and now I look back and I'm like, okay, those were assignments, and now I know how to fight that Satan assignments.
Question, and I don't know if we have time to like fully get into it. No,
we're going off on a
so no, but this brings up a curiosity in me. Why did you choose the military? If it's like, if there's a long answer to it, we can save that for next time. But why, like, you are the ripe age of women that are getting told to go to college.
So I did go to college. I graduated high school when I was 17 years old, and I went to college, and like I went to private schools pretty much my whole life till high school. And the private school, the Catholic school was great, but then when I went to the other school, like I didn't learn algebra. I had to go to pre-algebra like in high school. I didn't know do geometry, like all this stuff. People I guess learn pre-chemistry. I was like really behind, in that aspect. And I was going to college. My parents were paying for it. And this is when I started becoming an addict already. I started drinking. This is like right after I got raped in high school. And so I was like just really broken, drinking. And I lived in a townhome. I had a Mazda 6, which was really nice back then. Like a $20,000 car for like a high schooler,
Yeah.
This is a lot of money back then in 2007, y'all. So yeah, I had everything. Just like this has been the theme of my life, where you have everything, you're still not happy. And I was like, I want to travel the world. I was so independent. I was making good money and doing makeup at the mall. I was getting like $9 an hour plus commission. That's good money. And yeah, I was already an alcoholic at that age. And that's when I was like, I've got to do something different. That's me. I got to go to extremes. So I was like, I'm joining the military. I want to be independent. I want to go to college and I wanted to have it all. I didn't want to, like, college was taking forever and it was boring. I was like, dang, I have to do 4 years of this. When you're young, like 4 years seems like forever. Every day when you're young seems forever. Now when you get older, you're like, why is time flying so fast? So long story short, I did it.
But why the military?
Because you can get your college paid for, and you're independent, right? And you get to travel. Like I wanted to be out in Nebraska so bad. So it was like my free ticket.
But why did you choose the military?
I think everybody should join the military.
You have, if you wanted to travel and get away from Nebraska, you could have gone and chosen a college in a different state, and then choose.
I think I felt bad too, and I wasn't doing good in school, and I was going off the rail. So I felt like if I joined the military, I was like, this will get me like back on track. I don't know. It was a God thing, to be honest, because I feel like if I wouldn't have joined the military, I would have been an addict, way worse in shape. Like I think God, we're gonna look back on our lives and be like, dang, our life could have gone, because we're gonna see everything in a flash of our eye, right? Whatever's happened in our life, and see how much God was actually there when we didn't know it. And I think the military saved me. And then obviously that's also when my addiction kicked off, was because of the military. So it was funny how it all came back full circle. Because if you're not healed, everything comes back full circle. Whether you join the military, run off, go to a different country, it all go full circle until you can fix. Not fix.
Yes.
See, I say things so harshly.
That's okay.
Not till you can. How do you say that? Till you can love yourself.
And be with yourself.
And love Jesus.
And
accept Jesus.
It's okay with how you explain things. Highlight my screen.
So unprofessional, not turning that down. What happened?
Ollie.
You good? Yeah.
Oh.
I can see you.
No. God, no. What was I about to say? God, it's already that time. That's crazy. Oh, a friend of
Why
mine.
don't you just mute it real quick?
Because I love that sound. A friend of mine was going to a therapist, and he's like, anywhere you go, there you are, is what the therapist told him. So we think if I go here or I go there, everything's going to be fine. If I get
this. Go to church. Go to do this.
Yeah, if I
And there is healing in that. There is healing in those things.
Yes, but if you're doing it to try and get away from yourself,
right, it's
the motivation.
Yep.
If you're following it because your soul is being drawn towards it. This is why it's really important to be connected to yourself, because there's going to be times where you feel something inside of you being pulled towards an area, but it's actually you trying to run from something. And then there's going to be other times where you're like, yeah, no, I'm actually being pulled. So let me actually go.
Yep. Oh, that's beautiful.
And speaking of going,
Jake is leaving us. We love Jake. Y'all, if you guys want a safe place to talk to somebody, hit Jake up. He's on Instagram. I posted him on my Instagram. Guys, please comment on this post, share it out to anybody, whoever, your mom, grandma, sister, brother. Love you guys.
Anybody that needs to hear that they have worth and value. Anybody that feels like they're not, send it to them. Because maybe there'll be something.
Who would think God uses all the opposite, that was my problem, feeling worthy. Here we are talking about worthiness and love. I never felt loved. Here I am talking about love. He will take everything. Let me tell you, God takes everything and will flip it on you. Everything all your pain, will use it for good. Everything it's just crazy how he works. And I wouldn't choose any other life because I've been in the darkness. And there's nothing greater than being in the light. Okay, that will wrap it up. We love you guys.
All right, deuces.
Peace out.